Coming at you again down south, Birmingham, Alabama, the mayor. Man, I'm just sitting here, man. This it's still going and on about this Diddy trial. And now it's passed down, it's the verdict and they denied his bail and all that. But the two counts he got basically is the Mann Act. Transporting people for prostitution. But the more I look at it and the little research I do and my little homework, it's basically boiling down to the Mann Act. So everybody's saying it's targeted at our successful, black entrepreneurs and men, and we can name people like, Tyler Perry, you know, such. But it's always a fix. It's always a gray area. Because there's other people that done did the same thing that he doing, as I done said before in one of my videos, that been doing this for 30, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, who get a lot of money just do what they do. You got a couple of them that got caught up, like Bill Cosby, or whatnot. It's in this day and time it turned into a money grab. Because now if I ain't mistaken, they put in an effect that where if you don't do it within a certain amount of time, it's no good. So you got a plethora of lawsuits coming at different people, different famous people. So, I remember, well, the newest part of secrecy and keeping my business, your business, or what we do under wraps was the newest way was turning in your phones, put your phone in the bag before you come in this part of blah blah blah. Before that, it was NDAs. Now, an NDA becomes obsolete once a crime has been committed. So they found a way around that, and people got comfortable with that until they started, you know, Xing out like, hey, NDA ain't no good no more. So, what they gonna do with this Mann Act law that they apply so heavily now, and taking it to the point to where they calling it and can push it as a RICO or a CCE? I think what's finna start happening now, and I was just looking at a video, and as I was looking at this video, I was just thinking to myself, which I don't have a whole bunch of knowledge of the law, but I do have common sense, and street sense, and then I do have people that I watch. Shout out to my big homie, Unique Mega Audio, and he knows what he know. Uh, what would they do if the NDA is not obsolete? It's just not as strong as it used to be. So what would they do if they put in them NDA clauses that you have to sign that is consent? So once they can sign that everything and anything that we do is consent, will it make the NDA more stronger as it used to be, or will they find a way around that? And that's my question to y'all. What do y'all think of that? Because I think, as this person was saying, it's not, everybody's scared now to meet somebody over here in this state or even in this city or county and bring them over, drive them over. They drive, you drive, they ride the Greyhound, a fly plane is automatically considered transporting across state lines to do whatever. And if you take them in, if they drive and you give them gas money to get back home, that's considered, soliciting. Um, so I think I heard one dude say, it was a point in time to where they used to have to catch you in the act of, soliciting, for prostitution. Like the police literally had to catch you doing it. That's why they used to set up stings and have undercovers. You have to offer money, then they run in. Or you gave her money and said, I'm giving you this money for this. But then it's way past that now, So I want to know what y'all think about if they included written consent and that person signs it, would that make the NDA weaker? Would that make it harder for these people to file lawsuits against these people? Because, we know the percentage is higher than what they put out there. These people be with it. They trying to get it, you know, in a certain light or part of a certain lifestyle and bump shoulders with higher ups. And they know what they doing and they willing to do what they do to be able to do that. Not, believe me, no, by no means I'm giving, consent or saying I approve of anybody being, mishandled, misused, or violated. So I just want to know that part. If they put that in the NDA clause, will it make it harder for people who actually, was taken advantage of or have been taken advantage of to get just due, justice? I don't, like I said, condone or promote it, you know. Uh, but like I said, I was just wondering if that was the case and was to be put in an NDA, what would that do, or how would that affect these people with their lawsuits on the level of those who are truly victims, and many of those who aren't victims, who just you know looking for a bag, to come up on a bag, lying and deceiving. You know what I'm saying? So, which make it harder for those who have been truly misused, mishandled, and SA to get just due. So that's just a thought, and that's all, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. And again, man, shout out to my big homie, Unique. Hopefully this will run across your desk, big bro, because I'd like for you to answer that, answer this question, and let me know. Let me know what you think. So y'all have a good one, man. Signing out, man. The mayor of East Birmingham, Alabama. Big South. I'm gonna say this. The South, it has a big influence on everything. If y'all didn't know, so salute to y'all.